So that is my holiday romance TBR. I've never had a stack, it's because they're all novellas, where I can hold them. It's like holding a little holiday child, a little book baby. Hi friends, it's Amber. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time watching, and welcome to Vlogmas. I'm so excited for 12 days of coziness, fun, holiday vibes, all that good stuff. But to start out, I'm definitely in the mood now for holiday. I just finished today a reread of Real by Kennedy Ryan, which is definitely one of my favorite books by her. And now that I've gotten through that reading task this week, I'm just like ready for really good, sweet, steamy holiday romances. I definitely just want to read cute little love stories and watch rom-coms for the rest of the year. I have 7 physical books and then a book on my Kindle that I have fully loaded and ready to go of pretty sweet holiday reads, lots of Black romances. So I wanted to share what my TBR is. I'm gonna start with the book that is on my Kindle. I have my Kindle Paperwhite with me. This Kindle case is from Michelle Method and it just never gets old. It's so cute. Some of these books are available on Kindle Unlimited, so I could probably add a few more to my Kindle. This book I downloaded onto my Kindle just specifically for the holiday vibes, and that book is Big Nick Energy by Morgan Elizabeth. I actually met Morgan Elizabeth at a romance event last year, I think it was, at my local Barnes & Noble. So I actually have a lot of her like bookmarks and merch from that meeting. There is so much activity happening outside every time I sit down to film. Like, could we not? Anyway, so this book follows 2 main characters. It's like classic Hallmark setup. So we follow Connor, who matches with our main character Shay on Tinder. Shay has 2 daughters and they're about to spend the holidays alone. So Connor invites them to come spend the holidays at the Christmas tree ranch that he grew up on. And apparently something happens when they get to the ranch. They meet his dad, I think, and like it goes really poorly. So they end up having a bad experience. So because of that, to make up for it, Connor, sorry, there's so many names in this little spiel. Connor starts driving 2 hours every night to create like Christmas magic for Shay's daughters to help like make up for the mishap that happened at Thanksgiving. And then as he's doing this, trying to like give them the perfect Christmas, he realizes that like the way that he and Shay met actually seems like very meant to be, and he tries to get her to fall for him. So that just sounds like a really cute setup. I feel like I've seen a Hallmark movie with that setup. So that is the book that I have loaded on my Kindle. All right, now we gotta get through this stack. I specifically picked books that were a little bit shorter. So some of these are technically novellas, but I figured that would give me the chance to actually get through more of them and not get bogged down in like a 500-page book. All right, the first novella in the pile is The Christmas Catch by Toni Shiloh. This is a really cute looking holiday novella. We follow Jaleel, who is an NFL player who is no longer able to play because of an injury. So he goes back home to his small hometown in Georgia, where he runs into BB, who I think they used to date when they were in like high school or something. And now she's also back in their small town after she got divorced. So she lives there with her daughter now, and they run into each other when they're both back in the town around the holiday time, and like all the old memories from when they dated in the past start to come up. So this sounds really cute. Again, it's like a short little novella, big print. I've been reading so much on my Kindle and listening to so many audiobooks lately. I'm excited to just like sit with a book. Like the book smell, I miss it, and it's such a floppy paperback. Okay, that's enough, but still, this sounds so cute, perfect for the holiday time. This book I'm actually so excited about because it sounds like it just checks all of my boxes, and that is A Novel Christmas by Charity Shanae. So this book follows a Black romance author named Sarah. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's S-A-I-R-A, and she's a romance author who's been in a writing slump, and she hasn't had a top-selling book in a while. So her publisher tells her she either needs to write a top charting Christmas novel or she's gonna get dropped from her publishing contract. So she hates Christmas novels. She feels like they're so cliche. So she books a vacation to a town that's like literally a cheesy Hallmark Christmas town, and decides to go there to get inspiration to write her book. And she ends up moving into this duplex, and on the other side of that duplex is our main male character named Dorian, who is a widower. His wife passed away from cancer, and he is a firefighter. He's also like, I think they say he's Mr. December on the firefighter calendar. So you get the vibe. He's not thinking about romance because he's still getting through like his grief over losing his wife, but then the two of them live next door and he meets the tenant next door, and like, I just knew it was gonna be quiet when I filmed this video. This sounds cute. I love that we follow a writer. I always love books about writers. I think that's why I loved Book Lovers by Emily Henry so much, because people in publishing book people. It just is like, it adds another element to the romance that I really like. So this one sounded right up my alley. I did think I got the same book twice when I first opened these though, because they look so similar. This one I'm interested to see how I like, because it's not a trope that I typically go for. That is the second chance romance trope. So I picked up Second Chance Christmas by Jacquel J. This book follows Faith, who had a really rough childhood growing up. Both of her parents have like substance abuse issues, and the only thing that she really found solace in growing up was her boyfriend Rome, and their plan was after graduation to get married, be together, and leave their small town. But that doesn't end up happening. She ends up marrying someone else, but now it is the future, and she's divorced from that person back in this small town, and she ends up running into him again. So it's their second chance at love. Like I said, the second chance romance trope for me is so hit or miss, but I'm really interested to know why they broke up, because it seems like from the synopsis they were so set up to be together. Like, the thing about me and second chance romance is that sometimes it feels like the reason that they broke up is the reason they should stay apart, but hopefully this one and like the Christmas vibe of it all is the opposite of that, and I want to root for them. I need to root for the couple. This next book is technically like two books in one. It's a holiday romance collection called Christmas Kisses by Farrah Roshan, and it has two different romance stories in it. The first story in the book is called, I think, Tuscan Nights, and Aiden goes to Tuscany 3 days before Christmas. It's like this remote town, this remote restaurant where there's a chef there, and the chef's name is Nyla, and she actually was supposed to marry Aiden's brother, but their wedding was called off. So now Aiden is in Tuscany to try to convince her that he's the brother she should have been with all along, which to me sounds very messy, but I'm here for the mess. The second story is called Second Chance Christmas, so another second chance romance, and we follow Ayana, who is in, I think, Vail, Colorado, yeah, for her brother's wedding, and her brother's best man is her ex-boyfriend, and she's determined to show him that she's over him and over the heartbreak and that she's moved on from the situation. But then her brother gets cold feet before his wedding and goes missing, so she has to work with her ex-boyfriend, brother's best friend, to try to track him down and get him to his wedding. So again, second chance romance, we'll see how it goes, but this sounds like a cute little collection, and I like that it's two stories, so I can maybe split it up and use it between books as like a little bit of a buffer. This next one is the only YA book I have on this TBR. I've had this book since, I think, since last year, and I just never picked it up, and that's The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcelo. We follow our main character Liza, who's having her last Christmas break in high school. She's working at a local hotel trying to earn extra money, and she also works as an anonymous book blogger, which I think could be really interesting. So while she's working at this hotel, the hotel's owner has his nephew come to be one of her co-workers. I think the nephew's name is Teddy. Yeah, Teddy Rivera, and he's like polar opposite to her. She's type A, he's type very B, but then they accidentally switched phones, so he realizes that she is this anonymous book blogger and has a chance to like reveal her secret. I think that YA romance for me has I've kind of stepped away from it a little bit just because I'm not as drawn to those stories, but I do think that a holiday romance sounds so interesting because like you expect that kind of cheesiness that you get with YA during the holidays, so I'm excited for this one. It seems like a really cute setup, and I love the thought of her being like an anonymous bookstagrammer. I think that's so fun. Okay, 2 more books to go. We're getting to the end of this pile. This pile is actually more ambitious than I originally realized. Okay, next we have All I Want Is You by Fallon Ballard. I read Lease on Love, and that honestly is like a top romance book for me. It was so sweet, so well written. I still need to read Just My Type. I actually have it not on this shelf, it's on a shelf that you can't see right now, but I really like Fallon. I think her writing is great, so I was excited to see a Christmas novella from her. This is another book about writers, which I feel like bodes really well for how I'm gonna like it. We follow our main character, whose name is Jessica, and she's like a small time romance writer. Like I feel like the way it's described, she writes like straight to Hallmark type books, and she's heartbroken over her ex-boyfriend Nick, who is also a romance writer and kind of her like publishing rival. Her books all have happy endings, like romances, but his books actually don't have happy endings, which I don't know how that makes it classified as a romance, but we're going with it. She writes happy endings, he writes sad endings, and they get snowed in at the same hotel 3 days before Christmas, and I think they're both working on a writing assignment. In order to get over their writer's block that they both have and get this assignment done, this close proximity that they have makes them realize they need to just like work out their issues once and for all so they can move on and get back to their best writing. But working out their issues actually causes them to work through their issues and brings them closer together. So only one bed, forced proximity, to me trumps the second chance romance of it all, and that makes it like much more stacked in my corner. Add the fact that they're both writers, like there's a lot going for me in this book. So, and it's Fallon, so I'm really excited for this one too. And last but not least, this is me giving a second chance to an author who I just haven't vibed with in the past, and I hate that because so many people love her books. So I read a book by Tessa Bailey. At this point, it had to be like 2 or 3 years ago, and I forget which book it was. It was like, I want to say it's called Fix Her Up or something like that. And I just like, the female main character was just so infantilized in that book. It just like did not vibe with me, but that was like the only real issue I had with the book. Otherwise, like I thought the writing was good, it was fun, it was like well done. So I've always wanted to try to give Tessa Bailey another shot, and I figured a Christmas novella was a good way to do that, so I'm not committing to like a full-length novel. So I picked up Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey, which also has a very cute cover. This book follows Stella, who is outside of a department store a few days before Christmas in a city, and they all have their window displays done, and a man comes up to her and asks what she thinks about the window display, and she tells him that it kind of sucks, and then she finds out that it's actually his store, and he hires her to work on their holiday displays. She's been really down on her luck and needs the opportunity, so she tries to overcome the fact that she's like super attracted to him and just like do a really good job and make the best of the opportunity. But obviously the attraction is going to get the better of both of them, and we'll see how that goes. So like I said, I'm giving Tessa another shot. I am a little nervous because it feels like the power dynamic thing, sometimes it makes me uncomfortable. Like the boss romances, sometimes I'm like, I don't know how to feel about that. The book is blurbed by Entertainment Weekly, and they call her the Michelangelo of dirty talk. So honestly, I feel like this book is going to be mostly steam, but we'll see. And maybe if I am into the characters and like, because I already know I like her writing fine, maybe then I can go back and give another Tessa Bailey novel a try. So that is my holiday romance TBR. Just a couple books, like just a few, a small stack. Really, really dying to get to this one because it just sounds so up my alley. So I don't know. I have options. I have quite a few books to choose from. Oh, this I'd actually like, I've never had a stack, it's because they're all novellas, where I can hold them. It's like holding a little holiday child, a little book baby. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what's on your holiday romance TBR or any other holiday books you're hoping to get to. I feel like there are still so many books I want to read between now and the end of the year. And I'm at the point where I'm still not willing to accept, I just am not going to be able to read all of the books that I want to read. We can at least get close or have a good time trying, and I'm fine with that too. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on any end of the year videos, any more episodes of Vlogmas. And if you made it this far in the video, leave one of these emojis so I know that you made it. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.